Hello everybody, my name's Llama Joe and welcome to my channel. Okay, we are back to the letter. I actually ended up recording the day before 3 episodes of Shadow War. I said in one of my videos, I was like, oh, I'm gonna do a bunch of stuff tonight and tomorrow night, which is still true, but yeah, I just recorded 3 Shadow. They went a lot longer than I expected them to, but they were really fun. The first episode was kind of slow. And, but the second one was really exciting, and I think I really enjoyed that one. The third one was pretty good, too. So, but besides that, we're back in this. We're doing just kind of a quick recap. We are in Hannah's story, now this is chapter 2, and this is all about Hannah. And she just had a party, and this is back in time. But it jumped forward, though. It was October 17th, and now it's October 21st. So we've jumped forward a few days, and so here we are. This is Hannah, and here we go. Luke is dressed to the nines as he usually is, and he looks ready for whatever the day will throw at him. His butler and valet wait at his side, just in case he isn't ready as he looks. Oh, sure, that is normal. What is confusing me is the fact that he is on his way out of the penthouse, considering we won't have anywhere to go until much later.
Where are you going?
I am to attend the Triad Autumn Tasting. I do believe I informed you of this 2 weeks ago.
Yes. And might I remind you that I had stricken that off your schedule? Because 1, the doctor told you to stop consuming so much alcohol. And 2, I informed you a few days ago about the open house we are going to attend in its place.
Ah.
I've even found this marvelous interior designer, Mary Ann McCullough.
It's a 3.5-hour drive to Cardiff. I don't have time for this.
Well, too bad, bitch. Make time.
This is like that little party you threw all over again. You don't inform me of it, and you expect me to stay and be a gracious host when I have business elsewhere.
Luke is such a dick.
You know how I operate, Hannah. Unless this was penciled in, I am sticking to my schedule.
Uh-huh, sure.
If I may intrude, the madam is correct. Your physician did insist you moderate your drinking. Unless you wish to incur acute pancreatitis.
Got him. Way to go, Johannes.
And you did have this open house penciled in last Wednesday
Oh, get wrecked.
Bollocks, I don't remember doing so.
Well, you did. While very hungover, in fact.
He did. Moaned about me being too loud, gave in after some pushing. Perhaps that was a bit too cruel and maybe of me, but...
Whose side are you on?
Come on, Luke. You promised we'd do whatever I want this weekend.
Gordon Bennett, fine. I am giving this house tour of yours a chance.
And you know what? You had to get in the house, douche, so fuck off.
But if it proves to be a waste of time, I am going to Cardiff, and you are going to take a cab home.
What a shitty husband.
Are we clear?
Okay. It's just a bit of husband and wife tit for tat, isn't it? All couples have their arguments. Once the honeymoon phase is over, as they seem to call it, reality sets in that you and your partner might not always see eye to eye. Perhaps it has been the years. 7 of them is nothing to scoff at.
I just cannot bloody believe I agreed to this. I was really looking forward to the Triad Tasting.
Too bad. Though sometimes I think it's something a bit more than just simple disagreements, and I have to stop myself from wondering where we went wrong.
There's always the Triad Christmas tasting in Manchester next month, and that'll only be an hour-and-a-half drive.
Have I been neglectful? No, Hannah, you've been fine. Actually, Hannah's pretty nice. She's kind of stuck up and snooty, and you know, she's a little spoiled rich person, but she's not a complete brat. She's pretty cool. Have I offended? Have I acted shamefully?
Yes, but Cardiff.
Certainly, any problem can be discussed. As long as he doesn't turn me away.
Well, there goes my good mood. Are you happy now, Hannah?
Yeah, I am, asshole. Why must he treat me this way? No, fuck you. Defend yourself. Defend yourself. Don't remain silent. Don't just, like... No.
Yes, I am very happy, Luke. Because for once in a very long time, we are doing what I want.
Got him.
I'm ecstatic. Understood? And this would be perfect if you stop acting like a child who needs their nappy changed. We will be leaving after lunch for the Ermengarde mansion. You are going to park your rear in the car and keep mum. And you are going to behave during the tour.
Man, she is brutal right now. Needless to say, Luke looks a bit shocked at my little outburst. He opened and closed his mouth a few times, struggling to reply before he crosses his arms to look like, well, a moping child.
Any more rules for this little excursion of yours, Your Highness?
As a matter of fact, yes.
No wine.
Got him.
No wine. Unacceptable! I am already not allowed to the tasting, and you would deprive me of that simple pleasure?
Well, apparently you're an alcoholic, so you don't need wine.
If I see you take one sip today, I will put the stocks under lock and key. Do you understand me?
Uh-oh.
Don't forget the bottles he keeps in his dresser.
Whose side are you on?
How many times in one day can you ask that?
As many times as I need you, traitor.
The ride to the mansion is quiet, with Luke having stared out the window the entire way, not paying attention to anything around him. Meanwhile, I am conflicted. I don't know if I should apologize for changing his plans like that. But by the time we arrive at the mansion and I see his eyes light up in genuine interest, apologizing is the last thing on my mind. The whole affair with the Ermengarde mansion is certainly an interesting experience. The place had been renovated and restored by the owners to what they claim to be acceptable standards. The mansion itself looks like something befitting a fairy tale or a period piece. It is tastefully decorated, and with a little bit of love and attention, I'm sure it can be a place Luke and I can call home. And the number of other prospective buyers that have come from the powerful and wealthy of Luxbourne certainly did not disappoint, marking this estate as prime property. The leads are amongst the group who went with the Rose Woman, and I saw a few other notable faces, though I did not really feel like mingling. Unfortunately for every one of them, the Wrights are interested in buying. What's been bugging my mind, however, is that Isabel. Oh, so you do know her name. What is her problem? I still don't quite understand what is happening. One moment, she's scrambling to give us the paperwork to finalize the sale. Then she's panicking over some sort of prank letter or something. The second thing on my mind is how touchy my darling husband is being towards the poor dear. I cannot even plaster a smile on my face, a horrid scowl taking its place. There is no way I can pretend nothing is wrong as I hum.
And I'm sure little Lily here would certainly appreciate it if you remove your pretty hands from her, darling.
He is quick enough to detract his hand, which is all that the girl needs to, well, for a lack of a better word, escape.
I think I need to step out for a while. I'll be back.
Her partner follows, shouting after her without hesitation. There is an awkward air among us as we are left in the wake of whatever that was. The others murmur and gossip with each other, speaking of the poor, daft girl and telling the tale to whoever was not audience to the act in the first place. It doesn't take too long for the woman Rose to return and pull us aside in the study for what I rightfully assume is damage control. Rose invites Marianne in too, hoping to apologize to her as well. But the woman refuses, saying she is not one of her clients anyway. That leaves myself, Rose, and Luke. The last all too eager to make himself comfortable in a study he's no doubt already claimed as his own.
I can't apologize enough about what just happened. Please forgive Isabella.
Oh, no, she said her name wrong. Okay, sorry. For some reason I thought she said it right.
She's been under a lot of pressure lately. She's young and all those rumors about this being haunted just got to her head.
Damn it. I miss Rose. I'm sad now.
And it must be this terrible heat too. Not a drop of rain for days now.
Oh, it's fine. The poor girl must feel so embarrassed about what she just did.
Wow, emphasis on girl. Okay. I'm currently drinking Not Your Mom's apple pie. I discovered it for the first time yesterday, and boy howdy, it's delicious. I mean, it literally tastes like you're drinking like apple pie. It's really good.
But I say, let bygones be bygones. After all, she's only a child.
Maybe she's doing the emphasis on Luke to be like, hey, don't be a creep.
She looked, what, 19?
I shoot Luke an accusing look at these words. Oh yeah, she totally was. After all, he tried flirting with the girl. The nerve of him! And not only that Isabel girl, but also Marianne and Rose too. What kind of husband would think that it's even a remotely good idea to make moves on 3 different women while his wife stands there? I mean, it doesn't matter. He shouldn't be making moves whether you're there or not. The fact that he does it in front of you should actually really make you question what he does when you're not around. Did he drink while I wasn't looking?
She's a bit older than that.
Yeah, isn't she like 26?
But again, I apologize. And if there's any way I can make up for what just happened, just...
I know what you can do. Be a darling flower and get us one of those bottles you plan to serve. Pop it open.
We were planning on serving some champagne. I can get that.
That would be lovely. Much obliged.
Bitch, did you already forget your rule?
Do you want a glass as well, Ms. Wright?
Oh no, I'm fine. I really shouldn't be drinking right now.
Yeah, Luke. And Luke shouldn't be either. But right now, I am just too tired for any sort of argument. I don't have the heart to scold him in public as well. I am certainly not his mother. I just want to get this horrid day done with, go home and sleep. Perhaps I'll even have a strong cuppa before I head off to bed. Yes, that sounds nice. When Rose comes back with the champagne, I beckon her over. As I have told her partner before, I have every intent of acquiring this house. I might as well, even if I'm having second thoughts about getting it for Luke. The moment we, the Wrights, had expressed interest in this place, we've had eyes set on us. If we don't buy it, that might as well be the signal to have busybodies gossip about how we may or may not have lost our fortune. Regardless of the fact that it is false, image is everything when dealing with these people. These are the unspoken rules for people such as ourselves. And besides, I really did like the place. Why, everything here is absolutely wonderful. Well, except for this ugly painting in the study. Ugh. It looks like a bad fake of an Edvard Munch painting.
Here's the deal. I'm willing to pay 10% higher than your listing price.
Thought it was 15%.
If anyone tries to outbid us, just add another 5%. I doubt anyone can, of course. Or, you know what? Just add 15% to the listing price,
Well, there we
and
go.
we can sign all the paperwork now.
I guess, if that's what you want. That won't be any trouble. I don't have all the papers now. Didn't think this would be a quick sell. I'll have copies sent to you so you can look over them. And if you'd still like to finish the rest of the tour with Isabella's group, you're more than welcome to.
No, I think we're good here. We'd appreciate a private tour of the place a lot more, I think.
All right. Should I let Marianne in, then?
Marianne? Oh, right. She's been waiting outside the study this whole time, hasn't she? I'll need to have a little chat with her to move this little mansion project forward.
Please do.
There is a look of apprehension when the other woman enters the study. Yet, like a professional, I see the moment when she steels herself and makes her worry. Masks her worry, sorry. Admirable.
We have this project then?
Admirable, admirable, same thing.
Of course. Will you be needing anything from us?
Having the floor plans would be a great start, just so that I can look at them beforehand. And if you could tell me when you're available for a meeting so that I can include it in my calendar?
Oh, is a meeting really all that necessary, Marianne? I guess we can send Johans to help you out. You two can start by getting rid of this ugly painting.
A hush falls upon the room at my request.
What painting?
And lo and behold, the painting is gone. In its place, a mirror stands, which leaves me to look at my own confused expression.
Odd. Well, no matter.
Oh.
Back to the topic at hand. Marianne, dear, we are simply far too busy to meet up.
Or perhaps maybe I should. Nah, free up your schedule. Free up your schedule. You can do it.
But I guess we can free up a day to meet with you. I don't really need another Maudlin Monday reading about Maury anyway.
Yes.
The book club can function without me for one day. What time shall we be seeing each other? How does lunch sound?
Besides, my house is a higher priority over book club. Why, we can hold the next meeting in this place. Surely the beauty and grandeur of it all will inspire spirited and lively debates about whether modern-day writers could match up to the classics. I might as well clear up the rest of my week to handle whatever affairs buying this mansion requires of me. Any social activity can be put off until the Ermengarde, or rather, the Wright Mansion's great debut. I'll have my fill of great parties and gatherings, especially when I organize them myself.
That sounds good. Although, with a project at this scope, we might need most of the day to tackle your concerns. A more thorough inspection of the place is also preferable.
Breakfast then. It's a date.
It's really not.
All right. Monday. 10 o'clock sharp. We'll see you then.
Actually, Marianne suggested that we meet at 9, but who's even awake at that unholy hour? I was lucky enough to wake up this morning before Luke went all the way to Cardiff. We say our goodbyes, shake hands, and make clear without outright saying it that we now own this house. By the time we left the mansion grounds, sunset is almost upon us.
So, you really want to buy this place then? That's a bit of a big impulse buy, even coming from you. Not that I'm complaining.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Well, I'm glad you're not complaining like you usually do.
Oh, get wrecked.
It's a right and proper Christmas miracle, isn't it? Hannah has finally done something right.
Oh, fuck. I refuse to look at him, staring at the passing scenery instead.
Hey, Buttercup, what's with this cheek?
He's getting nervous now.
Rose, Lily, Mint. The nerve, Luke, the nerve!
Is that what this is about? 1, that woman's name was Rose. And 2, you know I don't mean a word of that empty flirting.
And it's still the principle of things, Luke. I understand if you try to woo them to get what you want when it seems that I'm not looking. But I told you once before not to do it when I'm there.
Luke dealt with other women in the past to get what he wanted. Sometimes I have my doubts. I really want to believe that I am an exception. That he is not just using me like how he used those other girls. I am having a hard time believing that now. And it isn't just the shameless flirting. There's something about that Marianne woman, as if Luke is familiar with her. As much as it shames me, it makes jealousy rear its ugly head. I am, suffice to say, ticked off.
Really? I forfeit my trip to Cardiff for this, and you're still not happy.
Don't go fucking flirting with other women, dickhead.
Oh, trust me, Luke. I am very happy. Very happy that, for once, we are doing something that I want. Can you not see the smile on my face?
It is only when I let loose those words that the truth hits me like a slap on the face. And by the looks of it, it seems to have the same effect on my dear, darling husband. It has always been, Luke wants to do this, and Luke wants to do that, hasn't it? I don't even remember the last trip we went to, which was of my own choosing, without needing to get the man's approval. On the other hand, I was pulled along to every single expedition he wished to tackle, and I never objected. The rest of the ride home was spent ignoring each other, pretending the other didn't exist. Arriving at our penthouse, my first order of business is to get into bed. She's gonna leave his ass. Forget a hot bath and forget the tea. I just want to bury myself in blankets and forget everything in my slumber. It seems that Luke has the same idea in mind as he tags along behind me. But this is something I will not allow the moment I pass through the door.
Out.
Ha! Savage.
What the bloody hell, woman? This is my bedroom too!
What a little baby. Luke stands flabbergasted as I deny him entry into our chambers. His pillows lie on the cold, tiled floors, away from the warmth of our soft down bed, and my gaze promises the same fate if he does not budge on this matter.
Don't even try to argue, because I am very cross with you, Luke Wright. You can take the second bedroom or the guest room if you wish, but I do not want to see you at all for the rest of the night.
Johans!
A butler wanders over, a curious expression on his face. He doesn't quite hurry, moving at a relaxed pace no matter how angry his master sounded.
No, you are not allowed to sleep in my room, sir.
Nice.
That's not what I mean! Help me talk some sense into her!
There is no sense in questioning her right to be angry, sir. So, if I might be excused, I'll go prepare the second bedroom for you.
What a little bitch. I have to keep a straight face as he stomps away in defeat.
Mutiny! This is mutiny!
What a child.
The system is being upturned, and the people are rioting, and everything is left asunder.
Asunder! It isn't every day that Luke is rendered speechless by someone he considers inferior, or to yield to another authority without an ulterior motive. His pride just won't allow it. I do keep telling the man to treat his people better. He may throw whatever fit he wants, but he will not be getting his way tonight. Good on you, Hannah. Victorious, I celebrate by jumping face first onto our bed. Undignified, yes, but nobody's here to judge me anyway. Right? Nobody's here to tell me what to do. Yet, as I succumb to sleep, I can hear them whisper to me, uh-oh. I can hear them whispering, help me, calling for me. They want me, need me, uh-oh. They drown me, pull me down, and suffocate me in their embrace until I sink to the bottom. A deep abyss awaits, inviting, yet foreboding. They're calling to me from in there, aren't they? And I do not want to help. And I do want to help, I do. But when I try to reach out, something pulls me back, like a hook sinking itself into my stomach. Oh! Okay, I didn't expect that. That fucking jump scares, man. They're not even cool. That makes me angry. That was like a delayed reaction, too. Like, for some reason, it took a second to, like, trigger in my brain that something had happened. Like, I heard the noise, and I was like, oh, that's weird. And then I, like, really focused on what I was staring at, and I was like, huh? So I might have shit myself just a little bit. I'd probably just blew out the mic with that. I'm really sorry, guys. Fuck me. Alright. And I break through the surface with a gasp. Alone in bed, and without Luke to hog the covers, I am swathed in cloth and slicked with sweat. It takes me a while to untangle myself and kick them all off. Both the bed and I are a right mess by the end of it all, but I'm more than eager to just get up and go out for some fresh air. Oh, okay. October 26th. Alright. So, jumping forward again, a few more days. The days past had gone by a blur. In fact, let's go ahead and read. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Here we go. During the open house, Hannah pressured the estate agent to sell her the mansion. The Wrights also met their interior designer, but displeased with her husband's flirtatious attitude, a disagreement brewed during the ride home. Inevitably, they ended up sleeping in different bedrooms that night. The days past had gone by a blur. We hadn't talked much, Luke and I, outside of necessity. In fact, we've hardly talked beyond the topic of acquisitions of properties. Properties being the mansion, obviously. Everything has been so busy that I haven't talked to anyone outside of business, and it is just so stressing. So one can understand my need for a good chat, preferably over a good meal. There are times when any decent, emotionally healthy, and socially capable person need a good friend. One who will talk to them without the conversation degrading or turning into an argument. Or barring a nearby friend. I have an interior designer under confidentiality agreement to listen to me.
Up, higher, come on now!
The place is bustling with movers, carrying furnishings here and there, along with several trunks of personal belongings taken from our penthouse. I can hear Luke barking at them in the other room, making sure nothing is handled carelessly or gets stolen.
Careful now! I know your pictures are framed by cheap plastic, but those are framed by African blackwood and are one-of-a-kind commissioned paintings. Each one is easily worth a lifetime of what you lot make.
It is hard to tune him out. The walls did not do a good job of muffling him at all. But then again, it is Luke. I would still hear them ranting even if we were on the opposite sides of the mansion, and I'm wearing earplugs.
I'd really like to thank you for inviting me to breakfast, Mrs. Wright. But I already ate, so I should really go back to work.
Nonsense! You arrived so early, you must not have gotten a proper meal. Our butler has made a surprisingly lovely bubble and squeak.
Bubble and squeak?
Sit, sit! I'd situate us in the dining hall, but it is a mess right now.
I'm not privy to whatever bubble and squeak would be.
Oh, Johannes!
The man in question appears, ready with a tray as he starts to set the table for us. We sit in silence as we are each served a plate. Bubble and squeak, topped by a nicely poached egg with cherry tomatoes and other garnishes adorning the edges of the plate. I still can't determine what that's supposed to be. Like some sort of potato? I don't know. A cup and saucer and a teapot with some Earl Grey is placed down for Marianne, and I ask for an orange Julius. Earl Grey? Do you really want to give her Earl Grey?
How are you liking the project?
I thought, like... I know there's the other tea that makes you tired, but I thought Earl Grey also... Like chamomile or something? I thought Earl Grey also made you sleepy. Maybe I was wrong.
Drop that vase and I'll have your head.
Vase?
I know it's only an 8 million yen vase, but I swear,
Well, it's certainly a fun challenge, incorporating the designs of a Jacobean manor and the functionality of a modern household. I have ideas I would like to suggest, by the way, about what to use the second bedroom for. I have been informed of your goddaughter and thought a kid-friendly room might be in order.
Oh, I didn't know she had a goddaughter.
You read my mind. I was actually going to bring that up. Oh, that would just be so lovely, Marianne. That way, Kylie can bring her friends over as well.
Nice.
And a good friend of mine, Rochelle, is expecting a baby. So, why don't we think about putting a crib in there too? I can just imagine little ones running around, filling this place with the pitter-patter of their feet.
Someone wants a child, but something tells me Luke ain't wanting to be a daddy.
We'd have to make sure they don't trip and fall on the stairs, though.
We won't be able to finish everything up until after the party.
Damn it. I just want to drink.
But we'll have it ready by then, so that all we need to do is to move in the furnishings.
Yes, that's plenty fine. It's not like we're in a
Oh, fuck you.
hurry to have it. And we wouldn't want the workers to disturb the guests or the other way around, do we? Just make sure it's presentable. You know, in case a guest snoops about.
Of course. As for the kitchen you wanted, I've already negotiated for the high-end stoves and the hot and cold drawers, so on and so forth.
There we go.
I've got a friend who was able to customize them so that they'll look like the counters we'll be replacing and fit the rest of the interior. They'll be
Nice.
bringing them in today.
why can't you people do anything right? Don't drag it. You'll scratch the wood.
Excellent. But no, really, how have you liked it so far?
Oh, it has been wonderful, believe me. Everything is going smoothly too.
Awesome.
It has been a long time since I've worked on something on this grand a scale. Nowadays, everyone is about condos and flats, living in the city where every room is an identical box.
Yeah.
Believe me, this is very refreshing.
I can't afford a house. I'm a poor little bitch, so...
We lived in a condo before this, Marianne.
I didn't mean to insult.
It's fine, sweetie.
Got him.
Look at you, all frazzled. I was just pulling your leg. Luke wanted that penthouse when we got married, and you can thank him for purchasing this place as well.
She looks confused. Of course she has every right to be. She no doubt overheard me push that estate agent into the sale, making quite the aggressive offer. She saw me sign the papers for the mansion as well. I just had to scoff.
Don't be fooled. I'm just the treasury. I wouldn't be able to make a purchase this grand without his seal of approval.
I see.
That's it. That's all you have to say.
Okay. I guess she...
Yes, it wouldn't be appropriate to comment further. It is unprofessional.
Unprofessional.
I can't help but let out a deep sigh as I stick a fork into the dish. I didn't want professional. I want someone who will either agree with me, even if it's just for the sake of agreeing, or someone who will try to talk some sense into me. Neutral responses are so boring. There is no discourse in the middle ground.
The food is good. Best bubble and squeak.
Of course it is. Our kitchen staff only uses the freshest hand-picked ingredients. Only the best for the rights.
Mr. Wright is not joining us?
No, he is far too busy bossing people around. He even refused to join me for breakfast earlier. Hence, this.
I see.
Oh,
My apologies. I really don't know what sort of response you expect to get from me.
There's a clatter of silverware as I slam my hands on the table. It is frustrating. I am frustrated. At Luke, mostly. But Marianne's neutral, professional answers are certainly irksome as well.
You're a human with feelings and opinions, aren't you? Don't give me this bollocks about being professional when we're having a nice, friendly chat over a nice and friendly breakfast. I can only talk about interior designs for so long, and I detest one-sided conversations, Marianne.
Uh-oh.
But I really don't know what to say, Mrs. Wright. We were talking of no topic in particular, and...
Luke. We were talking about Luke.
About him not eating breakfast with you?
About him treating me as if I were some treasury.
I didn't realize that I shouted that out loud, until it is too late. There was a stunned silence that settled before I slumped back into my seat. Hiding my face by my hands, I can feel my shoulders shake. Breathe, I told myself. Calm down. But it is just so hard.
Honestly, sometimes I feel like he doesn't love me anymore.
Oh.
Oh, have I been so blind? Did he ever love me at all? Was our marriage all for the sake of saving his company and his wealth? Because...
Because?
Did I say all that loud? Again? No, this is bad. Unacceptable. It has been rumored before the real reason for our engagement, but if anyone were to know of this... Marriages of necessity to carry on political and financial power used to be a common thing, but the Evans-Wright union is the perfectly happily ever after. Was supposed to be. It is true that we first met each other in order to discuss dealings, to make the then failing Wright Enterprise a subsidiary for Evans Incorporated. But I do remember being in love with him, and there were times when he said he loved me back. Even if I'm not sure of what the truth is now. Talk to him. Talk to Luke. Either way, I do not want the Wright name or the Evans name dragged through the mud because of a slip-up. And if Marianne so much as talked of this... Ask her, don't threaten her. You've already been pretty brutal towards her, and she's just this neutral party. Marianne is a good sort, isn't she? Yay, I increased my relationship with her. So far, she has been reasonable and accommodating, even towards Luke's ridiculous requests. Patient and professional, did it only extend to business? Or would she be able to understand that things like this are not as simple, not as clean, as they are painted to be? Certainly I can talk to her. Ask for her...
I won't speak a word, Mrs. Wright. Not only am I contractually obliged to, it would also go against my principles.
That's good.
This is no one else's business but your own, and it should be kept between the two of you. And whoever you wish to seek counsel from.
Please, Marianne. You have to understand.
You should seek counsel. Like, you actually should have marriage counseling.
These sort of affairs. If anyone were to know this, they could just twist it and we'll be ruined.
Who cares about other people? Like, image isn't everything.
All I ask for is your silence on the matter.
If I am to be frank, Mrs. Wright, this isn't new for me. You aren't the first, and you certainly won't be the last to have complicated dealings. Unless what you're doing is illegal, I turn a blind eye.
That's respectable. Can I trust her?
If I wasn't in the same boat, I'd be trying to pry those secrets and gossip with you about them by now.
Well, I'm keeping that information confidential as well.
It's not like I have any other choice, do I?
Thank you.
We continue to eat our meal in peace, finishing the last of the food and drink. When the door to the parlor opened, Marianne and I are just sitting in silence.
Madam, the photographer from Luxury Living is here.
I give him nothing but a small nod.
This was a wonderful meal, Marianne. You're free to return to your duties. I must excuse myself.
It was my pleasure. And thank you for the food as well.
Making my way downstairs, I look back and see Marianne give me a nod and a small smile. That certainly put me in lighter spirits. An interview with Luxury Living. In fact, actually, it's October 26th. The Wright couple moved to their newly bought mansion today and was already preparing for a housewarming party. Hannah and Marianne were seen having breakfast together, with the former complaining and accidentally divulging too much details about her marital problems. Yeah. Yeah, I should stop it here. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like, and I will do the best I can to make it right. I'm Llama Joe, and I'll catch you guys later!